Hi, it's odeean here. Today I've picked up this Takara Tomy Trailbreaker and Hoist 2-pack. I got it on sale from BBTS. It's been on sale for a while there, I think at $45, which seemed pretty good to me. I wanted to show a bit of a comparison between the regular Hasbro version of Trailbreaker and the Takara version. Now, I haven't got an open version of the Hoist, and that's one of the reasons I picked this up, because for my open Hoist, I thought I'd better take advantage of the fact that I could get better versions for around about the same price. I like the fact that the Japanese ones have this awesome reusable box instead of the blister card. I've got to admit, the Hasbro packaging has been pretty attractive lately, with the comic packed in there and the artwork being really fantastic. I've got no real complaints about the look, but the ability to reseal it is something that I really want these days, because I want to cut down on the amount of figures that I buy. So I think I'm really going to consider going Japanese with more of my stuff, just so that I can get boxes to put stuff away in. So let's get this open. After pulling these guys out of the box, I've given them a good look over, and I don't think there is an actual difference in the paint applications to the Hasbro ones. If I bring up Hasbro Trailbreaker here, you can see that the locations of paint no, I spoke too soon. There is a whole silver rim going around the bottom fender here that the Hasbro version doesn't have. We do have the same light detailing here, the same areas of paint on the shoulders, although the colors are different. Hasbro's gone with red, Takara have gone with silver, and there's blue paint on the inside there, whereas this has got red paint. Looking at the visor, the Hasbro version has light piping, which is a little bit dark. Takara version has painted over the light piping with a really glossy, bright red, which I find to be quite fantastic. Looking at the shields, they're about the same, but the Hasbro one has a more kind of gunmetal silver, whereas the Takara is a more silver. Both have the same detailing on the sides of the arm, the G1 decal look from the original toy. So pretty much the same, with just the small exception of this section here as more paint. Having said that and called them the same, I do find the Takara one to be more attractive. It has more gloss, so the reds are more thickly painted. If I bring that closer up here, you can see that it's a better coverage. The Hasbro one, I don't know if it's really showing up, but around some of the edges where the detailing it is, you can see the dark color of the plastic showing through from underneath. But with the Takara one, really don't see that much showing through. It's more evenly covered, and the red is more vibrant. Now I also noticed something else. The forearm on the Takara has silver paint, whereas the Hasbro is just plain black. So really, I think what it adds up to is that the Takara Tomy one, it really pops out a lot more than the Hasbro one, and it looks like a more premium toy. I mean, I think a big part of that is the eyes. The eyes showing up a lot more in red really makes a big difference, I feel. The difference on the Hoist figure, though, is much more pronounced, and that's because of the plastic color that they've gone with. With Trailbreaker, black is black, you know, but with Hoist, really, Hoist here is a much deeper shade of green than what the Hasbro version is. I like the Hasbro version. I also like the Takara Tomy version. I'm not sure which one I like the best, but the funny thing is that the comic art seems to match the Takara Tomy. Let me show that. Seems to match this guy better than it matches the one that's in its own bubble. That's a bit weird. Where's the gun gone? If you look at the gun, you can see that also the orange is really orange on the Japanese version, where it's more of a yellow on the American version. The American version is also suffering quite badly from coverage issues on that orange paint. It's a little bit hard to show up on camera here because it is in the bubble, but to the naked eye, that orange paint is very washed out, and definitely the darker color of the green is showing through at every edge and angle on the Hasbro version, whereas with the Takara version here, the paint is very thickly and evenly covered, so there's none of that blackness showing through. At least to my eye, it's very minimal, and it just looks a lot more orange. For the eyes on the Hasbro, they've gone with light piping again, very dead. I don't like light piping. With the Takara Tomy, they have gone with a pearlescent blue, which pops quite nicely and I think looks much better than light piping. I really prefer paint, especially when it's very glossy and brightly colored like that. It just brings out the eyes from those shadows, which I find to be great. The same blue is also put on the detailing here on the shoulders. I like their silver paint. Their silver paint actually looks silver, whereas Hasbro have gone for gunmetal. Now that's just a stylistic choice. I mean, Hasbro have still painted these areas up here silver. I just like this silver better, albeit maybe not as realistic what a real car would have. We do get this extra section here of silver that's not present on the Hasbro one. On the Hasbro one, it is painted in black. I'm going to skip showing the transformation, and that's because this is mainly a comparison. Plenty of videos out there showing the transformation. It's a good transformation, but I just do not want to show it. Now, there are major differences in the paint when we get to vehicle mode. It's pretty easy to guess which one of these guys is the Hasbro. It's the one that's got no paint on the wheels, but the problems don't just stop there. Turning it around to the back, there's also no paint on the tail lights, leaving the back to look pretty bland indeed. I mean, it's only a small difference, red on the Takara, but yeah, it just gives it that little bit extra, because the back section is just a solid block of black. It really needs something there. Other than that, there's not much difference. We do get differences in the plastic color of this red, more vibrant plastic color on the Takara Tomy, but it's pretty limited. I don't know how I feel about the color of see-through plastic that they've used here. So it definitely, to my eye, shows up better on the Japanese one being blue, but I don't think I like it blue. It's a window. Someone has to look through it. Why is it going to be blue? So that's one area on the Hasbro version I do think I like better. That's a see-through, or at least just a smoky see-through piece of plastic there, which I think is a better choice. Autobot symbols are almost exactly the same. They do look pretty similar in vehicle mode. I will show Hoist here, even though I don't have an open Hasbro Hoist to compare him to. Let's move these guys aside. Pretty nice. I'm starting to think, I like the Hasbro lighter green a little bit better than this dark green for the vehicle mode. I don't know. It's just a feeling. I don't have a reason. It's just, I don't know. I think I like the more vibrant color a little bit better. It is kind of, I'm not going to say pearlescent. I want to, but it's a little bit, something shiny about this plastic. I don't know how they pull that off. The plastic has definitely got that sort of pearl look to it, a little bit shiny. I just wanted it to be lighter, but it's a pretty attractive toy. My final thoughts. This Hasbro version, I think, cost me close to $20, at least for the Hoist. Maybe on the Trailbreaker it was a little bit less because I got it with some other figures. These two figures, $45 for the two, so, you know, a little bit more than $20 each. For my money, I think this is the way to go. Now, I know that usually stuff out of Japan is a little bit more expensive to start off with, but if I can get them at close to the same price, I think I am going to go with Japanese releases for the time being, just to see if I can get those box situations sorted out so I can pack my stuff away easier. I like these. I felt that they were good value. I definitely feel that they look better, and that few dollars extra that I paid, I think it's well spent on these extra silver areas. It just has a more premium feel to it. Now, I know for a while there was hardly any difference between some of the Japanese releases and some of the American releases, but at least with these figures there is a pretty significant difference, and I'm happy that I got these. I don't know what the next... I didn't order the next batch of figures from Japan, but I think I have pre-ordered the RC, so I'll be curious to see. I've got an RC coming from Hasbro and one from Takara. I'll be curious to see which one of those has the better paint scheme, because I know the Takara version is more strictly a movie-based color layout, whereas the Hasbro one's takes a little bit of license with that. So when I get those two figures, I'll show that as well. This has been Odeean with a comparison between the Takara Tomy, Trailbreaker and Hoist 2-pack and the Hasbro versions of those figures. Thank you for watching.